listening to Let's Talk About Ethics with me, Evie Wenting. Today, I am joined by Melanie Shong Helm, a seasoned HR leader with over 35 years of experience, a certified compliance professional, and a founder of her HR Common Sense Solutions. Melanie has led high level investigations, advised executive teams, and is known for bringing practical, common sense guidance to complex compliance and HR challenges. Let's dive in. Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Talk About Ethics with Evie. And I am here today with Melanie, and we've been on before, so I'm super excited to have you back and dive right into our great conversation about ethics, compliance, integrity, and everything in between. And what I love about you is you bring in the HR perspective, and I'm always eager to hear what advice you can give us, what you have to say, because I think compliance professionals really need to work with their HR partners.
And
It
vice versa.
Yes, yes, it's really important because each of us don't know what we don't know. So joining together and putting our brains together, it makes a great difference. So welcome. I'm happy to have you.
It's great to be back, Evie. And you're right. The compliance and HR professionals, so much of what we do overlaps, and yet we don't know what the other one does. And we don't necessarily understand all of the parts and pieces of what the other critical component of the organization is responsible for. And it's not turf. And I always tell my HR colleagues, if you think that this is about turf, then you are not working for the organization, because you are partners and you have to operate as partners, and you will undermine each other and be ineffective if you do not.
Correct, correct. So thank you, thank you. So let's start with the question we want to answer. From your perspective, where do companies make mistake?
Well, in the realm of compliance and HR, there are lots of places where a company can have a misstep. For one, I think workers' comp comes to mind often because it's a scary unknown. Oh my goodness, how much is this going to cost? Oh my goodness, how is the employee going to, do? Are they going to be able to return to work? Is their life forever changed? You know, are they going to sue us? There are all of those components that literally can freeze an organization in place instead of remembering, wait a minute, we have insurance for this. We have workers' comp insurance, and they're full of experts ready to help us. We're the customer, we're their client. And they have a fortitude of not just experience, but people who are experts in the area, and they can help us keep from stepping in a hole, right? They can advocate for us. If we are concerned that there may be some false reporting by the employee, especially if it comes after the fact and it was off premises and wasn't visible, they can act as our eyes and ears and do things, even put a tail on a person that you as a company can't do, me as a consultant can't do, but they have the ability to do those. And so we sometimes freeze in place and forget we already have the experts and we're already paying for them.
So let me ask you this. So most companies or all companies, it's fair to say, have some kind of an insurance for workers'
They
compensation.
have to. It's the
Okay.
law.
Okay. So everyone has this insurance. So there's no reason why you should not consider filing a claim with the workers' compensation because you have the insurance for it. So
Correct.
I've also, and this is where my compliance hat comes in, I've also seen maybe some companies have a really great documented policy or process of how or what the expectation is when it comes to worker compensation claims, right? So have you seen that
Right.
in practice? What did you see in practice that looked like?
I have seen it. That seems to be something that gets done. And I will probably credit the insurance company for ensuring that it's done.
Mhm.
Because if I'm an insurer and I'm going to write a policy on your company and there's practices and policies that need to be in place, I'm going to want to see a copy of those. I want to see what's the incident report look like? What are the safety postings look like? What are the required PPE, the protective equipment that has to be worn, not just in the plant, but for each particular job? I mean, a welder obviously has more equipment that they wear. You know, they have gloves that go up to their shoulders practically, and they have masks and things like that, versus someone who is maybe cutting fabric, right? Or maybe someone who's applying paint, or someone who is, turning a screw on a widget every 55,000 times a day, or 50 times a day, whatever. um, there's going to be PPE that's required both from the environment that they work in as well as the specific job function. I think what happens with employers and owners and HR or whoever is managing workers' comp, often in small companies, workers' comp may even be managed by operations rather than who may have no knowledge of laws and practices, versus HR, who might at least know, I better check on this, better ask about this. um is they are petrified of having two things happen: their rates go up, or to be, quote, canceled. And first of all, you're not going to be canceled for one event. You're not going to be canceled immediately. Now, come around the following year when you're re-upping for your insurance, you may see a rate increase, or you may have a, a particular insurance company that no longer wants to take the risk on you.
Mhm.
But most of the time, you've bought that insurance through a broker, and that broker is also handling your officers and executives insurance, coverage. They may even handle your benefits, your medical benefits. They may hire or have, sorry, the insurance over the buildings and properties. So they're your broker for kind of all of your insurance needs. So if one insurance, your workers' comp insurance, decides they don't want to renew you, that broker can go back out and look for something that will fit your needs.
Mhm.
Will it cost more? It probably will.
Right.
But it's not about you not being able to get it. And so sometimes I think the fear is put into owners and leadership in smaller companies that is very unfair and unjust.
Before we wrap up, I want to leave everyone with this. Having a clear policy is not an option. When it comes to workers' comp, it's essential. Everyone in the organization should understand the expectations. If there is a workplace injury or even possible workplace injury, it must be reported immediately and through the proper channels. Why? Because early reporting activates the right process. It brings right structures, it brings documentation, it brings investigation, and it brings in the proper experts who know how to handle these situations fairly and legally. When we delay or handle it quietly, quote unquote, we don't reduce the risk, we increase it. So, clear guidance protects the employee, the manager, and the organization. That's what ethical leadership looks like in practice. So, thank you again, Melanie, for joining me today. And I hope everyone enjoyed our conversation. Let's talk about ethics.